Good day to everybody who's actually watching and also listening. I go by the name of Thabo Nomcebo. I'm the TM facilitator here at the YMCA Ga-Rankuwa. I'm not actually alone today. I have my fellow colleague who actually introduced herself later on the session. But then currently it's more like we actually here to address the whole scenario of the pad use and how do they actually use pads or how do they actually get pads. So currently our main focus today will be based on the Rainbow Nation. And I'm sure you actually know what I actually mean when I talk about the Rainbow Nation. I'm actually talking about the LGBTQI plus family. So, Nomcebo, welcome.
Hi, my name is Nomcebo Martin, as my colleagues have said. For today, I'll be joining this live for the pet drive, explaining how lesbian feel.
Okay. Okay. First questions. What is your definition or description when it actually comes to the LGBTQI? Like, how do you identify yourself within that family?
In that family, the first letter, which is L, stand for lesbian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you're lesbian, and then currently we actually tackling an issue of actually talking about pets and pet use, and also how to actually spread the word and actually informing other people that is actually not a bad thing. So currently, since we're actually talking to one of the people who's part of the LGBTQI family, but also the part of the first family, which is actually the L, which actually stands for lesbian. So currently, we'll actually dwell into hearing how do they actually do it and how and some of the questions that we actually tend to ask. So currently, I actually feel like we have a person who's going to be answering them. So I'm gonna start off with the first question. Um, Truth be told, I never actually utilized a shop, and then I actually found a lesbian actually getting such. Is it something that's actually there, or like just get me through that whole scenario or the situation?
Okay, you mean when we are going to buy the pet
Yes,
as the lesbian?
yes,
Okay, basically, it's a difficult thing that we're supposed to face because we all know that we're born as a female but we feel like a male.
yes.
So, when going to the shop and buying the pet, seeing people looking at you like it's not normal to buy pets. So, it feels very uncomfortable, but at sometimes you be like, nah, it's nature, you have to accept and all of that.
Okay, that's actually true. But then I also feel like it's in terms of what people actually have to get a piece of understanding on on what actually happens. I feel like people have to know the difference between sex and gender. Yes, your sex can be represented as a male or a female, but then when it comes to gender, it's based on how you actually see yourself, right? So as a female individual, these are such things that actually happen to each and every female that actually exists. So since it actually happens, you do actually face the issues of actually going and buying them due to the fact that you actually represent yourself as a male individual. So since it's actually like that, how can we actually inform the public into actually making them understand that it's not actually the gender, but then it's within my sex? My gender can be like this. Yes, I can be seen as a male individual or lesbian or how they actually view themselves, but how do they actually have to get to differentiate between gender and sex?
Yeah, as you've said before, that many people don't understand the difference between sex and the gender. So I prefer like it will be fine for the Rainbow Nation to be having some meetings in the community, having to inform them about will they how will they feel about the pets, like having to make a group of them, like informing them, explaining them how they must feel about the pet. So I think many people must know that being a lesbian or a what from the gender from
LGBTQI plus,
yeah
yes.
from that, so it's like you have to accept yourself who you are, you have to accept how you were made, even though you have that female vision behind you, but sometimes you have to accept that life has its all consequences, but you need to accept who you are. So as buying the pet, it's for me it's kind of normal because it's nature, you can't even hide it, you have to accept that. Even you're a lesbian, but you have to accept that buying a pet is just a normal thing that you need to accept in your life.
Thank you very much for that response. And I feel like even a person who'll be listening would actually be informed about it, and also knowing about the family, because it's something that most of the people are not aware of it, and most of the people are not actually talking about. And I also like the fact that you're also talking about bringing the youth, or bringing the community or the family in order to actually raise awareness, and also knowing what actually happens and how do they actually live. So another question that I would actually ask, it's in terms of what we usually see female individuals, female, and as I say female, I actually mean without the lesbian part. They often have this phase of saying, "Oh, I'm going through my periods," and then they actually hurt. How does it actually happen within a lesbian? Because mostly they're known to be masculine, so it's in terms of what they don't actually showcase that pain. So how do you actually deal with that phase?
To that, period pain are the most painful thing. It's like it's your enemy. Period pain is something that you can hide, whether you're in that rainbow nation, whether you're not. So period pain you have to accept. You have to just go with it because there's nothing that you can hide. Unless when you're with your woman, obviously you must feel strong, like she mustn't see that you are not strong enough, but it's something naturally. If you are having a girlfriend that understand how is the rainbow nation, she will also understand how you feel when you're on your period. Of course we are the females, but even though we see ourselves as males, but sometimes that female vision always will always be there in your life, because that how we feel, like it's something natural.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that one. But then another thing that we're actually doing, it's more like we're actually raising awareness currently. And another thing is more like what breaking down stigmas. So if I were to actually pop up a question right now, and this is more like a random question, um, I actually know you, I actually understand you, and I actually know your vibe, right? But then it's in terms of what? Would you actually feel comfortable in actually accessing the shop and actually getting those items while going with a male individual like me? That's a question.
Now for that I won't feel comfortable, because as I've said, that buying pets is like you are bringing your enemy in your life, because you feel uncomfortable to buy something that you feel like you don't want it. But as it is a nature, there's nothing you can do it. But for me, I won't do it with the male, but I will always do it to make myself comfortable, because that is nature and we have to accept it, as I've said.
And at the end of the day, as we said, it's more like we're actually breaking down stigmas. Hence, we actually said it's based on what? Making people to actually be informed of what's actually happening within the family, and also breaking down the stigmas in terms of what? Yes, I might understand that you're lesbian. Yes, I do understand that. But then there's a time whereby you actually reach your periods. So, as I say, in breaking down those stigmas, I feel like we should actually be comfortable in actually doing such, so that the next individual might actually do such, so that we can actually be united and be one.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that it's actually happening and it's an enemy to a lesbian individual because they see themselves as a male individual, but then we also understand the nature within it.
Yeah, the thing is, you find other people being homophobic, especially the boys when it's come to this rainbow nation, because
True.
some of them are being homophobic. So going to the shop and buying the pets, some you will hear them talking about you, so you get discriminated. So it's something that will always happen, because other people don't understand the rainbow nation. Because I won't say it's a new thing, but later in those days of our grandmothers and grandfathers,
Yes, yes.
not it was not though it was like not aware, people were not aware about the rainbow nation.
Okay, I do actually understand and I do actually get it. But then I hear you talk about the fact that you've been discriminated, or you actually fear being discriminated in terms of buying those stuff in front of male individuals. If I were to ask, if the male individuals in your surroundings were to understand or were to be comfortable with you actually getting such, will that actually boost your confidence in actually getting them without you actually being pressured of the fact that you're actually getting such?
Yeah, definitely that will make me comfortable, that will change my mindset, like, because when you're in there seeing someone being homophobic to you is very very painful.
Yes,
Like it's
yes.
something that you can't even hide it. especially, but what I always tell myself is that if you're not from my family has accepted who I am, has accepted that I'm a lesbian. But so if you're not part of my family, what you are saying about me, what you are doing in front of me to affect me, that is all yours. I don't care, but I have to fulfill my dreams and know that this is the life that I've chosen.
Thank you very much for that response. So, I feel like to the public at large, this message was actually brought in to actually raise awareness in terms of what's actually happening in our community, because it's something that actually does happen. And it's in terms of what making our community to actually understand within the whole situation on what's actually happening. So, it's actually an honor to actually have this conversation with you. And it's actually an honor to actually understand your perspective and how it actually works. Truth be told, even myself, I wasn't actually aware of it, but then since you actually informed me, I'm actually aware and I know some of the things that can actually lead to discrimination. So since I have the information of knowing that this can actually discriminate a person, I shouldn't actually do that. So it's actually an honor, and thank you for the session that we had. I feel like a lot of people will be informed. Any last words that you would wish to add?
Now, I will just give you a word of the day to all the rainbow kids. Like, I would like you to accept who you are, even when you are reach the stage of the period pain, the pet that you need to buy your own pet. But you need to accept the nature. You need to go there, feel comfortable around other people, even that people is very homophobic. But always know that this is your life, this is who you are, and don't give up to what you have.
Thank you very much. So, as you have heard Nomcebo's words, and the word of the day is more like inspiring and encouraging the LGBTQI plus family out there to actually don't be actually discriminated, because we're actually one and we're united as one. The same rights you have are the same rights that I have. We're human, you're human, we're all human. So I feel like people actually have to understand instead of discriminating. Thank you very much. I feel like that's it.
Yeah, thank you.